All right, you ready? Yeah. I've got a meeting at 8:30. Hold on one second.
2020. We'll stand the pledge of allegiance to the flag, and then we'll have the invocation.
When we come in from the recess, we adjourn the meeting.
No, recess. You made a
No,
motion.
no,
No, you made a motion to adjourn and you didn't get a second. Right?
he asked me if I'd make a motion to adjourn, I did, and y'all voted no, we adjourned the meeting.
Nobody voted.
Is that what you got in a second?
You didn't get a
That
second?
was an earlier adjourn, before the meeting was over. I made a motion to adjourn early. No, we didn't recess, we adjourned the meeting. I'm just asking you for the legal thing about starting it back up.
You can start a recess meeting. Because I think they recessed it to get another day.
Well, the only reason I'm
There's a
asking,
conflict with father and vacation, I recall. Is that correct? So they moved it to this.
the only reason I'm questioning it is we had a Boy Scout lined up tonight to get his Eagle badge.
Well, I don't have the minutes in front of me, but I'm
Well, that'd be a good
Sorry.
I
thing.
listened today, it was recessed.
pretty sure it's recessed.
It
Jack
really
made the
wasn't
motion.
recessed, you missed the deal.
Don, you asked for a motion to adjourn, and nobody said anything, and Richard said, hold it a minute. And then you all spoke and discussed about Bob's vacation and when we could do it again. And Jack made the motion, Ms. Wilk kept saying we can recess it. And Jack made the motion to recess, and Tommy seconded, and it was voted.
Well, anyway, I want to say the pledge of allegiance, we're gonna have prayer, and we'll continue. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, I come to you tonight to thank you for creating us. I thank you for all of creation and what you did for us. And I thank you for reminding us that we are made in your image and let our actions reflect that. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
I have another question before we go forward. If somebody presents a petition that does not have to be ratified, we don't know who these names are. I know there are two people on there.
I think what, Danny Phillips.
Dan, can I ask you a question? I think you're gonna make reference to it. This here was from the last time, so this is really not this time. This is from before. So this is not, this was from before.
I'll just have her come over.
This is what you got. There, people on that point to the board. Yeah, I just
Are
let me.
we taking comments from the audience now? Is that
You're
what
gonna
you're making?
here.
You're making that room?
I think he's gonna open up the public hearing for it. They had issues on the sound.
I'm just asking questions about us, the
That petition.
council receiving it.
It's still more than just presented.
We've been presented before, and we didn't receive it because the names weren't verified.
This,
Okay, so it's all right one time, but
this is not a registration thing, I think it's just a simple
I know
petition.
what it is.
I'm saying, that
I'm just talking about what, if you do something one time, you ought to do it consistently.
I think he just wants to get it to the board. And let it for the board.
Be all right, be all right. Last time they wanted to start.
Don's good, yeah, the mic's further.
I had seen the petition, I don't know if forward any, I had seen it.
Doesn't matter.
I just,
It should be the same, we should do the same thing, but
it's something to be considered on the board. He's no part of the birth of it. If you're the light, it's not ratified, that's the way you give light to it.
Now, as more sign, if more come up to sign up, I'll just
Oh,
bring
yeah.
those up, right?
Okay.
Number two.
When we let Linda to recess, we were down to item number 4. And so we're gonna, the first thing we'll do, though, I'm gonna have public comments of anybody that doesn't want to talk about what's on the agenda. Is there anybody that wants to talk that's not on the agenda? Something that's not on the agenda.
Mayor, just for the record, what I would do is I'd just take a vote of, I know you've recessed the meeting, I'd take a vote of council regarding the meeting, just for the record. If There seems to be an issue.
Okay. I take a motion to reopen the
Recess.
recess.
I'll make a motion to open the recess meeting from.
Second. All in favor? Okay. Okay, it looks like everybody on the sign-up sheet has got, item number 4 on the list, so, I reckon we'll just start with the public hearing, right, Bob? Okay. We're gonna have a public hearing on item number 4. Has to do with the proposed, resolution for alcohol in the city of Trinity. So if you want to speak for it, come to the podium, state your name and your address if you live in the city or not, and you'll have 3 minutes. So, whoever wants to be first, come on.
Yes, the name's on that list.
I thought you said if you're for it or against.
Forward.
Forward.
Forward. State your name and your address, please.
Robbie Walker, 4330 Rock Ledge Lane. Members of the council, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to speak this evening. I've been a resident of Trinity all my life and a business owner in Trinity since 1988. I'm a longtime member of Joy Community Fellowship Church, High Point, and the current chairman of Barstow Trinity School Tax Council. I'm speaking tonight for myself, a large group of citizens in Trinity that have an interest in seeing alcohol sales put on the ballot in November. I have with me tonight signed signatures for 114 residents of Trinity that was collected last election when this same group that I represent tried to bring this to the council for a vote and was denied no discussion. We realize that this issue has been the subject of a lot of debate over the years. We feel strongly that the citizens of this city should have the opportunity to vote on this matter again. We realize that this has been voted on before, but we feel like the demographics and the needs of this city have changed since last vote. We see this as an economic issue and not a moral issue. If voted in, our city could see good economic growth, which would result in added tax revenue, which is badly needed. My business alone has asked this city for years on countless occasions for city sewer to no avail due to no funds. Another example is the current large grocery store looked at locating to our city a couple of years back and went elsewhere due to no alcohol sales. Our citizens are currently going literally a mile outside of our city limits either way and buying their groceries in stores that sell alcohol. To us, this makes no sense. It is each individual's right to buy it or not buy it. And believe me, you are not going to keep alcohol off the city of Trinity streets by denying this vote. There's not a week that goes by that I am not picking up an alcohol can or bottle out of my business's yard on Surratt Drive. So it's already here. Trinity's just not collecting the revenue. One other point I'd like to make, being on the Archdale Trinity Tax Council for the last couple of years and currently chairing this council that oversees $2.5 million yearly for our schools, I realized how much more fortunate our schools are over the rest of Randolph County. The tax that our citizens pay and the county collects is based off the current revenues in Archdale and Trinity. Thus, this vote, if voted in, would result in more revenues for our schools. Do we really want to deny our schools much needed revenues that are currently being given to Thomasville and High Point? So in closing, we'd like to ask you to vote tonight, put this on the November ballot, and let the citizens decide for themselves at this time. I personally know each one of you, and I'd like to thank all of you for what you do for the citizens of Trinity. I know your tasks are not easy, and you can never please everyone. Thank you.
All right. All right, anyone else wants to speak for it? State your name and your address, please, if you live in the city.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Mayor, Council. I'm James Underhill. I own Big Jim's Grocery Store here in Trinity at 12414 Trinity Road. I've been a visitor in Trinity for 19 months. And put a business in Trinity even knowing the restrictions that alcohol sales wasn't an option. But the city of Trinity reminded me of my hometown, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. It was a small town, and I watched a small town grow to a huge town, we feel like, in Rocky Mount. And we got names in no rise. In my 19 months of running Big Jim's grocery store, I've had a chance to interact with some of my customers in here today. And I feel like I have a diverse clientele that comes into Big Jim's grocery store. And I've always questioned when people come in, when customers come in, you know, what's their stance on alcohol sales in Trinity? And you're here for, you're here against, and you know, you never really hear why. And it's just interesting to me that, you know, it's 2020 and we're here debating alcohol sales. I look around, I see a city is not growing. I mean, so that if whoever thinks is growing, it is not growing. I don't see a place where people want to grow into, want to tie back into. And I just wonder if we're just going to continue kicking that same can down the road. You know, I don't know what Phil's zone it is as far as if you like alcohol, if you don't like alcohol, but I do understand you can't legislate, or you shouldn't legislate morality. You know, alcohol feels a choice. You know, I mean, if you still stop someone from getting alcohol, and they're going to find alcohol, that's what they're looking for, alcohol. So I stand here and I would definitely like to speak for people that I speak for every day, that alcohol sales should be open on by people that actually pay taxes here and live here. And that should be considered. So that's what I want to speak to you guys about today. Thank you for your time. And if you ever want 12-414 to do those swim out Big G, I feel like we got the best hot dog in town. Thank you. That's right.
We'll send you a bill back commercial. All right, anyone else wants to speak for?
My name is Danny Phillips. I live at 7191 Hunters Club Drive, Trinity. I'm the president of the Steeple Gates Homeowners Association. And the petition I have in front of you are all residents of Trinity. Well, let me go back and say that there's 90 signatures, but 79 daily addresses. So actually there's 79 here, residents that I know of. But they just want the choice. I know each and every one of you have a different opinions of it. But we think as citizens, those 79 people that signed up for that just want the choice, whether to vote or not to vote. And I think that's the main thing that people have asked for. Just let us determine that, as opposed to 5 people. And I'm the representative of those 79 people. We can get 79 people in here, so I represent those total 79 that signed that. And the second part of my thing is just an opinion. I'm retired now, but I have 40 years of grocery industry experience. So I've been down some of these roads. I can recall in Asheboro when it was dry. I heard it all the time about alcohol and beer and wine, things of that nature. But I can, in my opinion, and I can almost assure you that if the council would like to have a grocery retailer to come to the city, you have to have beer and wine. It represents 15% of his total sales in beer and wine cities. It's a lot of profit dollars that a retailer would lose if he did not have beer and wine. So those are facts. I've done it for 40 years. So I have the knowledge, and I can assure you of that. So appreciate everybody serving. And, thank you for what you do. And, we just want the city of Trinity to have the chance. Me personally, I do not consume alcohol, me personally. But, I've been around it for so long, you know, everybody should have a choice whether or not they choose to partake or not. Ma'am.
Thank you, Danny. Anyone else wants to speak for? Hearing none, we'll go to anyone that wants to speak against it. Come to the podium, state your name, your address, if you live in the city, please.
I got you. I got you. You're fine.
My name is Lucy Rush, and I live at 5272 Gray Oak Road, Trinity, North Carolina. Been here, living in Trinity since I was 7 years old.
Get
I
first
don't
name.
know, I guess my maid's on.
It's
It's closer
okay,
to the
everybody.
mic, you don't have to, there you go.
You got to hold it. So here.
Here?
So here you outside.
Okay. I've been here since I was 7 years old. Today I stand at 72. Alcohol has not been in Trinity. None of those years as legal. And it's been here illegal. But it's not been legal. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly from alcohol. Have family members that drank alcohol. If they wanted it, they went. Apple, Jamestown. Used to go to Jamestown. Now, everybody in here, you don't have one car, you got two, somebody got three. You go where you want to go and get. Go where you want to go and get your groceries, right? So, leave it like it is. It hurt nobody. We got a lot of other things that we need to address in the city of Trinity. Now they say the revenue that you get from the grocery store, the big box grocery stores and stuff. They say that revenue about the lottery, too. About the lottery coming, it's gonna help the school. Some of the schools still don't have the funds and the revenue that they need. What they doing with the revenue? People still coming in here having businesses and, living. Their apartments going up, houses going up every day around here. So don't say it's bad. Say something else that you just want. But remember this, it's your decision to put it on the ballot. But it's the citizens of this great city that I was one of the ones to help make it a city here in Trinity, North Carolina. So yes, it's hard to put it on there. That's the way you're supposed to do, right? That's the law. Put it on there and let the citizens decide.
Thank you. All right, anyone else opposed?
My name is Curtis Connor. I live at 3014 Crescent Avenue in Trinity. Thank you, council members, for this. And this is a bad time to bring this up. Our nation has been torn apart. Our state's been torn apart politically. And now you bring it down to the city level. Remember last time we voted on this, it tore the city apart. There were name calling, there were comfort fights out in the parking lot. They were just tearing this city apart. We don't need that right now. We need to be bringing things together. There's so many problems in Trinity that we need to be solving. And you add more to it by doing this. I went to a meeting, opposed it before. I was called an idiot, a moron. everything because I opposed it. And it's mean. People are getting mean during this time of period. The city continues to grow. They've said talking about growth. We're going to have 400 structures within the next 6 months going up in Trinity. Apartments, we've got commercial, we've got single family houses going up all over the city. We're continuing to grow. And people are talking about, all this revenue. And if a grocery store or something, they don't sell alcohol, they're going to go, but look at Sheets up here in Trinity. They're doing a tremendous business. They're one of the busiest stores in their system, and they don't sell alcohol. So that's not going to bring in people talking, well, we had stores coming in here trying to get in that we wouldn't sell alcohol. When the stores came in here, they turned us down because of the sewer system, not because of we wouldn't allow alcohol in their stores. That's fact. People's talking about facts and talking about a moral issue. Of course, this is not a moral issue. You don't have any morals. And so, you can say, well, these people burning down buildings and stuff, that's not a moral issue. Yeah, if you don't have any morals, it's not. The schools, talking about we're going to have money for the school. No, we're not. No more than we did with the lottery. People were bambooed about the lottery. They said, yeah, bring that in. I remember when I was in high school, and we used to go to Lane Mention, everybody had to go to Jamestown. High Point said, yeah, if we get alcohol in here, we're having new sewer systems, and it's going to help us. Well, 50 years later, they still have sewer system problems. They're not getting money from that. And I've never heard anyone say, when they were growing up, I'm glad we had alcohol in our homes because it made my dad a better dad. It made my mother a better mother. It made my husband a better husband. It made my wife a better husband or a wife. And it made our whole family better because we had alcohol in our families. And I worked at DMV for 11 years, and it was almost a monthly thing that some kid was brought in because of the alcohol issue of driving. Think about this, guys. Think about what you're doing, tearing our city apart. We don't need that right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Someone else wants to speak again?
Yes, please. I'm Richard Callahan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to have a voice. I'm pastor at Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Archdale. We have members in our church who are citizens of Trinity. And I just want to urge you not to allow alcohol in Archdale. And I know the pros and the cons that you're hearing right now, but I would just remind you that it's the churches, it's the pastors who pick up the broken pieces and the wrecked lives, the children that have been abused and live in such dread and fear when their dad and mom are coming home drunk. And it may seem as if it is strictly an economic issue, but it's far greater than that. If you've ever had an alcoholic in your home, you understand what I'm saying. This is a very serious matter, perhaps one of the most serious you will introduce. Problem drinkers are in abundance because alcohol is in abundance. And you can buy it. Each cent here, it's not far away. And I know some would not have it in their particular business within Trinity. But the benefit of not having alcohol will far outweigh the problems that come with it. Why would we bring closer to our neighbors? We love our neighbors as ourselves, the Lord said. Why would we bring to our neighbors, bring closer to them, increased domestic violence, child abuse, broken homes? Why would we bring drunken driving closer? Why would we make more available alcohol so that teenage drinking could become a problem in our neighborhoods? Why would we do that? If it's not a moral issue, why would God say, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink? Why would you want to give your neighbor the problems that come along with alcohol? I have watched my father destroy his life by becoming a slave to alcohol. He was a gifted man. He made a lot of money in his life. good health, but I watched him lose his integrity. He would lie, he would steal, he'd do anything to get a drink. He lost every possession we had, the house, furniture, cars, everything. He lost his family, he lost his wife. He wasted his life in a bottle. And if you've ever seen that aspect of drinking, why would we introduce that into our neighborhoods? Why would we bring it closer when they don't have but a few miles to drive to get to it? So I would just say this. When my father stood with a knife at my mother's throat and was determined to kill her that night, the ABC store rep wasn't there. You know, the one who sold it to him in the restaurants and the joints, they weren't there to protect. And yet, why would we introduce it to you? I just want to urge you, I want to plead with you not to bring this risk any closer to your neighbors. If they want to drink, they can drive a few miles. But you ought to be so thankful that this is a battle, that there are those who are violently opposed to this because they love their neighborhood, they love Trinity and the way it is. Thank you for allowing me to speak just for a moment. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Charlotte Coleman. I live at 4970 Lake Dog Road here in Trinity. The pastor and this young man over here pretty much sum what I was going to say. If you actually have experience in alcoholic firsthand, you will understand why we're here to oppose this thing. And we bring this stuff into the neighborhoods. Me, myself, personally, I'm already having problems with folks in the neighborhood that are alcoholics. I'm talking neighbors, you know, every night, every other weekend, I have bottles up and down the road. Can you imagine if we allow alcohol in the neighborhood or in the city of Trinity, what it's going to be like, you know, after that? I mean, I have nieces, nephews, little kids play in the streets, and they have to be careful because of this trash everywhere. I mean, it's even to the point where it's worse than, you know, beer cans or wine bottles or liquor bottles. I mean, we've even had needles up and down the street, you know. So I'm totally against it. And I understand the revenue and so on and so forth for the city of Trinity, but it's like, man, over here in the corner city. I mean, we have other businesses that are bringing in revenue to the city. So we don't need this thing on the ballot, but that's what we have to do. Let the citizens vote.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, council. My name is Emma Brown. I live at 5702 Cedar Coast Street. And I am the chapter leader for Mothers Against Drunk Driving here in Randolph County. And I'm going to give you a lot of facts tonight about underage drinking. It says we need to be aware of the current situation in front of us. Allowing alcohol sales in our city will make it easier for our youth to obtain alcohol. 4,300 people are killed each year due to teen alcohol use. 1 in every 4 car crashes with teenagers involve drunk drivers. In fact, the earlier someone drinks, the more likely they are to become alcohol dependent in their lifetime. More than 40% of individuals who start drinking before the age of 13 will develop alcohol abuse or alcohol dependency at some point in their lives. 95% of the 14 million people who are alcohol dependent begin drinking before the age of 21. A study from the CDC of high school students reported that 30% drank some amount of alcohol, 14% were binge drinkers, 6% drove drunk one time at least, and 17% ride with drivers that have been drinking. An article from alcohol.org says it is estimated that approximately 11% of all alcoholic beverages consumed in the U.S. are consumed by persons under or between the ages of 12 and 20 years of age. Alcoholic abuse is problematic across all age groups, but alcohol abuse in younger individuals have some special ramifications. Significant impairment in reasoning and in judgment occur in young people who drink. This is in young individuals who are already unable to make those adult decisions due to incomplete brain development and lack of personal experiences. The potential for the risky behavior and accidents increase in younger individuals. Increased risk of being physically and sexually abused and assaulted between young people who use alcohol. Beginning regular alcohol use at an early age also results in significantly increased risk of being diagnosed as an alcoholic later in life. Some research studies suggest that individuals who begin drinking alcohol are at age 15 are 4 times more likely to have these issues. Alcohol use interferes with the development of the individual's control of the nervous system. Even in individuals over the age of 16, there are key areas of the brain that have not been developed yet. Alcohol use at an early age is also associated with other forms of drug abuse and alcohol abuse. Lastly, drinking and driving is 100% preventable, not only for somebody who is underage, but for someone who is legal drinking age. It is their choice to get behind the wheel of that vehicle and drive. Our goal at MAP is to stop this horrible crime, because yes, it is a crime to drink and drive. We want no one to lose their life because of this. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else?
There was nobody else that signed up outside whenever I just went out before.
Okay,
Just to make sure.
we'll check and make sure.
Deputy said there was no one else signed up to speak.
No one else?
No, sir.
Okay, here's no more opposed, we'll close the public hearing. Okay, it says council is to discuss this. We have three resolutions that we can look at. I think all of you got a copy of this.
Having looked at all three of the resolutions, none of the three that I got agree with. So I selected resolution number 3, and I would like to make amendments to that resolution. Under the alt beverage election, item number 1, which permits on and off premises sale of malt beverages, I'd like to remove that from the resolution because that opens it up to all types of establishments. And number 2 is to permit on premises sale of malt beverages, which does the same thing. It allows any and all types of establishments. I'd like to see number 3, which permits off premises sale, which allows grocery stores to be located. And number 4, I'd like to see that allowed as a part of the resolution because it restricts the type of establishment of on premises sales, both to restaurants, hotels, and motels. What I'd like to do is now other members of council would like to say which one they support, and then we give the majority count what under law beverages we'd like to see in the rest of the resolution.
Which one did you want to take off, Tom?
1 and 2 under law.
Take them off?
Yes, and leave 3. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Tommy. Part of it from the top, that would be all right. But first off, this is another farce. You came here on, you didn't have the resolutions the way you all wanted them. That's the opportunity to get them right. How much are you gonna put the citizens of this town through?
That's what we're here for tonight, is to.
No, you've got, we're here to, the mayor just said, and I'm quoting, we're here to consider these three proposals. He didn't say whether we were here to change them or either of that. He said we're here to consider. Now, if you didn't read them before you came here, that's your fault. I read. And I assume that's what you wanted. Because you all were all ready the last time we were here to do it.
Bob,
And you must not have read them.
Bob, I got a question. Yeah. Of those four, you will even have to use the pictures, the people want.
Read them, but I found three. Council select one or more of the following propositions to pick one or more. So you can choose one, but you can choose one, or you can choose all of them, or whatever, no. Right or left.
I say that, the county staff, 3 of the 4, that the D7 moved it, so that wouldn't be, I see what you're saying, I see what Tommy said. The county does, county 3 and 4.
I'm saying the same thing, if we have the ability.
Right. Right.
I'm saying 3 and 4. You don't have an opportunity to say.
Bob, can these things, be, have we got to take the resolution like they are, or can we modify?
It's not kind of general statute, 18B602, it's the form of the ballot, and it's under malt beverage elections. Here's what it says. Any one or more of the propositions listed below may be placed on the ballot for a malt beverage election. Any one or more. You have 4 choices under the North Carolina General Statutes under 18B602A. You can do 1, 2, 3, or all 4.
So we have to do, we have to treat them like they are.
Any one or more.
I just want to make sure I understood the law.
You can pick 1, or you can pick 2, 3, or 4.
But what goes on the resolution on this really will be.
What the council selects.
Right, okay. I'm sure right on that.
And if I understand it, and I ain't real smart, number 1 covers everything that's on the back side of these over here.
Number 1 is the most
Broad,
the broad.
real broad.
Well, I'm good at talking on the people.
I agree as well. Best selection.
Actually, it's not the best selection. The best selection is none of them. I would like to say before you guys go ahead and vote that this is a moral issue. You may not think it is, but alcohol is definitely evil. And anybody that don't think that has something wrong with their reasoning, their knowledge of drums. I don't know how much money will ever come out of this. I know the city of Thomasville is costing a significant part of their money. They gave the school system $14,000 last year. That was their money that they got out of it. We have people who know how much it costs and how it goes back. If you bother to look at it, the cost of Trinity is going to be twice as much as you think you're going to bring in. You have not even thought about how much more it can cost us in law enforcement. We would have to have at least 2 deputies. Or if you look at the last
Can
month,
we get an opinion of the law enforcement about this?
can we keep quiet in the audience when we're speaking? You had your chance. I don't like being interrupted from somebody.
That was me. That was me.
Don't look at me. I would.
Mr. Frank, that was
Excuse me, I don't like being interrupted by him either, so.
I'm asking you a procedural question.
Well, I was speaking, when
Go.
you were speaking, you can ask your procedural question. And yeah, if you've got a report from the sheriff, I'll be glad to listen to it. I will not listen to a deputy who has a iron in the fire. He's already told me his opinion, that he's for it, so, you know, I don't need his expert input. But no, it's not a parent, facts are facts. You can get them from the state of North Carolina. In fact, in the state of North Carolina, for every mixed drink that's sold, every mixed drink, it costs the taxpayer $2.11. That's a fact. You guys don't want to deal in facts, you want to deal in what somebody says. So when I fought against the Archdale alcohol vote years ago, their promise was, we're going to get great restaurants, you're going to be able to sit down and eat, you're going to be able to have drinks. Well, they got their vote, and they got a dairy item. They don't serve it. So I'm just trying to point out to you that you need to really think. You either stand for evil, you stand for morals, or you're looking at the dollar. What you think you're going to get is a dollar. You're not going to get it. It's going to cause us to have to raise the taxes in this city. I can tell you, there ain't a city around here that's passed it that they broke even on the cost.
Should we keep telling all these people who are never gonna get sewer that we really don't care whether they ever get sewer or not? Whether we either raise taxes or we get money some other way.
Okay, I appreciate you brought that up. Why don't you, if you want to be like Thomasville, go over and live a month and tell me how much sewer. I'll be the first to admit it if you can do that, but you can't do that.
So we're as good as we're ever gonna get. That's what you're saying.
We're getting
Well, that's what
better
it
every
sounds like
day.
you're saying.
Maybe what you're saying, but I'm saying we're getting better every day. I've been here 8 years. I can take you around, show you the new houses. I can take you around there and you speak.
New houses get sewer. There's a lot of people that need sewer that aren't new houses. And we just keep telling them, we don't have the money.
Well, why don't you get all them people that need sewer to come in here and let's do something about that? Why don't you work on that? If you think that alcohol is going to pay for sewer, I'm not going to argue with you guys anymore. You're good guys. I know y'all got morals. You just don't exercise them all the time, and I don't either. And
I find this to be a moral issue. Alcohol is evil. It is among the most evil things in the world.
I believe the Bible says.
Anybody that wants
"Woe be
alcohol
the man
in
who
Trinity
gives his neighbor
has,
a
let me talk about it. Anybody that wants alcohol in Trinity has alcohol today. We have every single problem that we can possibly have from alcohol right now. We have all the problems alcohol can bring right now. We get none of the benefits that we might get if we brought alcohol sales in Trinity. None of them. All the problems, none of the benefits. I don't think that's a
Just
good
to show
trade.
you what you have done.
Can I finish? You just been talking.
You are finished.
I'm not finished.
Every time I have something to say.
This has been nothing but games with you from the beginning. You can't win an argument. You can't win an argument, so you keep throwing games at everything. That's the way the world works now. You can't win an argument, shut everybody else up.
I'm not trying to win an argument, my friend. The argument is when a child from our high school go down to Sheets, they don't get somebody to buy them a beer and run out of the farm.
No, they just go on down to Thomasville and do it.
Fine, if you want to be responsible for doing it here, that's your problem.
I'm not stopping them. And if I do, we tried to stop this in 1920. I was all for it then too, except I wasn't alive.
I started to say you're a little bit wet behind the ears to be 1920.
In 1920, the United States passed an amendment to the Constitution saying no alcohol sales at all. Within 13 years, everybody in America was willing to take that thing. That's the only time we've ever passed an amendment to the Constitution to chill another amendment to the Constitution, because it caused as many problems as we already had before that.
And that had nothing to do with it. It had to do with they weren't able to tax it.
Anybody that wants to get alcohol gets alcohol. That's the
History
truth.
will tell you right away that the only reason alcohol was brought
don't allow pot sales in Trinity.
You will next, that's next.
We don't allow opioid sales in Trinity, but there's plenty of both. I got some across the street from me.
Well, you need to move to a better neighborhood. You move over to Thomas.
All right, well, anyway, that's enough.
I don't want to argue anymore, I just want to tell you this. I know all you guys are good guys, I know you're not bad guys, but I know in your mind, you realize that it's evil. And it doesn't matter if we keep this little patch, it matters. And it matters to people coming in here. They're moving here and buying houses. I go talk to them, I'm not gonna ever move house in Belmont or Bellawood, met those people. They moved here because it's a nice, clean place. That's exactly what they said. And I can tell you right now, there is no amount of evil that will ever subsidize this city. You can do pot stores, you can do slave traffic, you can do whatever you want to, but you will never, ever, God won't allow it.
Well, are you done, Don? I don't want to interrupt you. What about page number 2? Oh, I'm talking now. But you talk when I get done. I got a question. Bob, on page 2, on resolution number 3, are you talking about any of the wine sales comment?
Yes.
Huh?
He got to, he just did them all better. All we did was talk about them. He ain't got to wide. I think y'all are gonna try to look at each one of them. That's why I was saying, like, Steve did talk.
Can we make a motion on each section?
Yeah.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion that from.
Steve ain't got to talk.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Pull your mic down or something. Yeah, just pull the mic down there, please.
We all have opinions, citizens who thought about the country, council members who have spoken conscientiously, and all have strong opinions, pro and con to sell alcoholic beverages in the city of Trinity. We have citizens who have opinions as well as we do. And I stand with the proposition that our citizens are entitled to speak their preferences in terms of whether they would include or like to have the opportunity to have the vote to approve or not to approve sale of alcohol in the city of Trinity. I think it should be submitted on the issue of all beverages, wine, as well as sale of mixed beverages, hotels, restaurants, private clubs, and community theater and convention centers. I think that's the wording of the statute. We have a statute in North Carolina that makes this a favorable decision for our citizens, and I support the fact that our mature citizens make that decision.
I would just like to say that you do know that our citizens have always had the ability to make that decision by signing a petition and applying for it, as we instructed them a year ago. That they could do if they got so many signatures. We had nothing to do with it. They could do that anytime they wanted to. But they couldn't get enough signatures to get it on the ballot. So we're doing it for them. Not that they couldn't do it, they could do it if they were willing to do it and wanted it. We defeated it in 2 elections here, Steve.
We're all wrestling with it, and we're addressing the issue because we recommend that this option, whether it be presented.
They've always had the option of putting it on the ballot if they wanted to. So you're saying that we're doing it for them because they're not there.
I think what he's saying is the citizens should have a choice.
They had the choice. They've always had it. You're the one who said
The
it.
ones that want
You
to
said it in here last year.
vote for it, and the ones that don't want it, won't vote for it. So, it's good, they don't want it, it's fine. If one want it, it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to do sleepover either way, whether it passes or fails. I'm not going to do any sleepover. But I think the people should have that right.
They have had that right ever
I'm talking about the vote on it. I'm talking, it's been several years since the voting on it. And the way it's gonna end, well, I don't know.
It was put in.
If you have a motion down there to start,
Yes, under malt beverages, I'd like to make a motion for line item number 3 and number 4 to be included in the resolution.
I'll say it.
I didn't understand the motion.
yeah, let's explain that. I don't understand it.
Okay, there are 4 options under malt beverage. Number 1, under resolution 3.
Go on list number 3.
Yes.
List number 3 down there.
And if you look, the first one is to permit on and off premises sale of malt beverages. That allows any and all type of establishment. I'm opposed to it. Number 2, to permit on premises sale of malt beverages. That allows all type of establishments. The 2 I support are number 3, to permit off premises sales, which will allow grocery stores. And number 4, on premises sales, but it restricts the establishment to hotels, motels, and restaurants. And so that's what my motion is.
Permits all premises, other permit.
Yes, and off premises sales, but other permitted, yes.
I'm gonna make a motion, I second. Give them the vote.
Can we have just those 2 on the ballot?
It says any one or more.
Okay. All right, I got a motion, I got a second. So, take a vote. All in favor?
No, I'm not voting for it because I support resolution 1.
One minute. Thank you.
I'm voting against it. You just called for vote. I'm voting against.
See, he's talking about the thing that says number 3 right here.
Hey, you have to have 4 votes.
Bob,
Mr. City Attorney, what's the distinction between 1 and 3? There's 4 items on each one of them, all of them by statute. There's 4 items on resolution 1 and resolution 3 on the malt beverages that are set out in statute. I think Tommy's motion was to put 3 and 4 on the ballot and eliminate 1 and 2.
but that's also the same thing on resolution 3. It's the same.
It's the same, they're the same, they both have all 4 options that are set forth in the statute. And Tommy's motion was 3 and 4, what he wanted on.
They're both the same.
See, what they do is they separate wine, alcohol, and drinks.
So the motion's.
We have a 3, no, and an abstain, I reckon. You didn't vote.
He did not vote.
Well, he explained.
Is that a, Jack has to explain it to him.
Well, he's sitting there asking, he asked him.
Well, he was on page 1, Mark, the resolution 1 was marking off something else.
Well, I mean, you know,
Well, I'm not going to confuse me with it.
the motion on the floor was to approve 3 and 4 on the malt beverages to be on the ballot. And, I think you had 2, 4, and 1 against. 3, 4, 1 against, and I'm waiting for your vote. Which resolution offers citizens Trinity the option of voting for one or all premises sales? The motion doesn't include that option. The motion on the floor does not include that option. The option's there in the statute, but Tommy made a motion only to put 3 and 4, which is off premises sale only of malt beverages. And only sale premises at hotels, I say hotels, motels, restaurants, and all premises sale of other permitted use.
It does not allow on and off premises sale or on premises sale, which are set forth in items 1 and 2. He narrowed it down to 3 and 4.
But where Steve is confused is the same on resolution 3 as it was on resolution 1. And that's
He is not,
which I knew was going to vote.
his
It's saying, why would you put two different
Well,
words?
His motion,
$4,000 question, I can answer that myself.
his motion was just to do 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
That's why I said the resolution was just messing this up.
All right, are you still no vote or you vote for it? No? No? All right,
You need to get the resolution paid, you need to find out what page it on.
3 and 2.
yeah,
Hold on.
To citizens to permit on and off premises sales of malt beverages and permit the on and off premises sale of unqualified wine and permit the sale of mixed beverages at hotels, restaurants, private clubs, and community theaters and convention centers. That would be my request to amend your motion.
We're building the resolution section at a time, so we were talking about the malt beverage.
This is only one part. This is not all of it. This is one section.
This is just one.
Malt beverage. You're gonna look at wine next.
But he's. What's going on?
Just malt beverage. We're just addressing malt beverages right now. And the motion was number 3 and 4. But they didn't put one that you were talking about. That was not part of the motion.
But that's what Steve was talking about doing, put them all three together, then discuss them.
He wants to amend it.
I thought he was just gonna call it.
You want to do that?
I don't care.
I just want, you want to go and withdraw my motion and you can roll that and you vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Can we do that? That's all we do that.
Well, you want to withdraw the motion, that's just, so we need to 3-2.
you withdraw your motion?
Yes. Yeah, withdraw this second.
I'll withdraw it.
Okay. So we've
All right,
already.
I'd like to make a motion. Let's put them all on, all of them. It won't be no different. You get everything you want from when you have to read.
So Steve, will you make a motion to do all beverages 3 and 4?
All right.
And 45 wines. And 45 wines. Do it,
You don't have to if you get that.
Under unfortified line.
and 45 wines.
Yes, and I'd like, that we consider number 2, which permits on premises sale. And then number 3, off premises sales. That allows people to vote either for or against. That way you can have a vote only for the grocery store environment, which is off premises, or you can vote. So it's,
Amendments to your motion or?
no, I'm talking about the ones, I'm getting ready to make a motion. And then we'll have mixed beverages, which is restricted to motels, hotels, and restaurants. So the motion is,
Wait a minute, hold on, Tommy. Steve, you want to say now, he's gonna do all 3 of them. But we're gonna make a motion on first and again, your motion. If you want to do all 3 of them together, is that correct? That's what I thought, that's what I thought.
so the motion is under malt beverages for line items number 3 and number 4. And under unfortified wine, line items 2, 3, and then mixed beverages, which is separate by itself. And that is the motion I'm making to be on the resolution.
And the mixed beverages is for the hotels, restaurants, private clubs, and community theaters, etc.
Yes, it restricts what establishment.
You're saying that resolution says you can serve mixed drinks anywhere except the bar, in the bar. Is that what it means? Yeah, I thought that's what it said.
Don, the general statute says mixed beverage elections is to permit sale of mixed beverages, hotels, restaurants, private clubs, community theaters, and convention centers. Here.
They have it in a bar.
Hotels, restaurants, private clubs, community theaters, and conventions.
Under the general statute.
Under general statute.
What would be the resolution to have a bar?
I think that would have been your, probably on premises for, all beverage.
That's the ones I eliminated.
Malt beverage.
That's one of the.
All right,
And you made the motion
Tommy's got a motion.
for all three.
Yeah, that covers all beverages, unfortified wine, and the mixed beverage.
You wanted 3 and 4.
Three and four, two.
I will repeat it.
Okay,
For
the motion is the resolution under all beverages to take line item number 3, line item number 4. And for unfortified wine, line items 2 and line item 3. And then under mixed beverages, it is what it is. You know, restricts it by hotels, restaurants. That is the motion of the resolution.
We're on 3. Go to number 3, Steve.
Let the people decide. I thought y'all wanted people to decide. Put them on there.
Mayor, you may want to just repeat what each one of these is. Steve, just read on all beverages, 3, 1, 2, and 4. And read out 2 and 3 and read out.
All right, the motion is on resolution 3. Where the motion is for number 3 to permit the off-premise sale only of malt beverage, and number 4 to permit the on-premise sales of malt beverage at Class A motels, hotels, restaurants only, and permit off-premises sale by other permittees. And under the wine, unfortified wine is number 2, to permit the on-premise sales only of unfortified wine. And number 3, to permit the off-premise sale only of unfortified wine. And then the mixed beverage election to permit the sale of mixed beverage in hotels, restaurants, private clubs, community theaters, and convention centers. That's the motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? That's my favorite. Here it is, 3. Here it is. The one is good. And the
Bottom 2 on the wine.
you know what it is? It's not just one. All right, see it. But it's on, you don't want to do that good. Shouldn't have a pass.
And then the bottom one, Steve, is mixed beverage in the places list.
It's in there and 3 pages of resolution, so that we can now say that from the beginning.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
We got 3 and 2. All right.
Not for against.
The no vote is,
No,
Right.
Didn't he ask for no vote?
yeah, well, we got a no vote, we got, Steve, and we got, Brother Don. All right, well, the city manager's not here. Got any more business from the council?
Yeah, I got that, I'm gonna say something. I'd like to, on the next agenda, to, discuss on the budget amendment for, it was got raised for the employees and to put back in the city $5,000 for city hall. On the next agenda.
Okay.
I think we have to get most of that, Glenn, does it have to get most of it, put it on the agenda?
Well, you're just telling the board kind of what you want to see on the agenda,
Right.
and then let them vote.
We'll vote on it when it comes to next meeting.
Right. Okay.
We'll just stay on this ticket. Anything else that we want to talk about before we adjourn?
I'd just like to say, hey, guys, I appreciate all y'all. Sorry, I'm against this program. It will never change because I'm a born again Christian. God said the woe that he gives his neighbor alcohol. And when he says woe, he don't mean stop. So that's the reason I'm against it.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn, if nothing else.
I'll make one to adjourn.
Second. All right, favor? Good night, thank you. Thank you all for coming to the meeting tonight.